Good morning, everybody. This is Bronson with Bronson's By Any Means Necessary Fantasy Sports Talk for Monday, August 16th. I'm filming this a little late. Usually I film this at night. Actually, technically, I guess it's early. I'm filming it early here, Monday morning, because I wanted to film something before I left town, because I didn't do that yesterday. I was busy exploring and having fun yesterday. But since all the baseball games start pretty late today, the first one's not till 4, I figured I have plenty of time to get this video in today while I'm here in town before I fly out. I'm filming it here at the base of Sentinel Peak, which is known to the locals as A Mountain. As I don't know if you guys can see, there's a big blue A up there. This is where the University of Arizona is located here. Sentinel Peak is a very important hill in the history of Tucson, as historians believe the very first settlers of the city, or of this region, were here at the base or on that mountain. That mountain is a very good lookout point, as I found out yesterday when I went up there. Very good lookout point. You can see for miles. 360 panoramic view of the valley. Beautiful up there, by the way. If you ever come to Tucson, you definitely have to go up there. It's a must visit, must see. But yeah, it's a very easily defensible hill made out of salt. The word Tucson actually means at the base of the Black Hill, and that is the black salt hill that historians believe that this town was settled on. So very important piece of Tucson history right there, A Mountain, Sentinel Peak. Anyways, I love this town. It's my second time back here, and this place is just capturing my heart. I just love it. I mean, I got a little burnt on my skull. I definitely should have been better prepared with some sunscreen this time around. Yeah, honestly, it was actually cooler here on Friday and Saturday. It was cooler here than it was in Portland, where I'm from, which is odd, because I came down here because I wanted to experience that brutal Arizona summer heat that I've heard so much about my whole life, and really it wasn't all that bad. I mean, the sun is a problem. You gotta have some sunscreen, but the heat, not so bad, really. As long as you're not out walking around for hours and hours like I was. I mean, obviously I sweat profusely just in general, even when it's cold. So if I'm out walking around in 90-degree dry heat for 2-3 hours at a time, yeah, it gets a little brutal at that point in time. But I saw a lot of people riding bikes. There's this really nice path that I'm actually on, the Santa Cruz River Walk. Great place to ride some bikes. When you're riding a bike, you're going at a little bit faster pace. You get to manufacture some air onto your face to dry you off. But when you're walking, you're not really walking at a fast enough pace for that to be a thing. But I love it here. I want to move here, but I just don't. I'm Scandinavian. I'm built for cold. Even though this dry heat is much better than the heat that I've experienced up in the Pacific Northwest for most of my life, I like this dry heat better. It's better on my skin as well. I have eczema. The dry heat is great on my skin, and dermatologists always told me that. Anyways, but I've experienced it for myself now, and yeah, it's great. I just don't know if I could function, if I could live. I mean, sure, I would adjust, right? But I think I'm more comfortable in a colder environment, like physically. Like my heart says I should be here. My brain, my logic, my thinking says I need to be in a colder climate, but I don't know. I really loved Anchorage when I was up there too, and that's definitely more of a colder climate, kind of more has some Portland vibes to it, some Seattle vibes to it. So it's definitely a place that I felt I definitely fell in love with that place too. I gotta decide. I mean, Portland's been really good to me, and I don't know if I'm in any hurry to leave Portland. I've just been in the Pacific Northwest my entire life. I've wanderlust. I've always wanted to leave, where I grew up and all that stuff. Finally getting the opportunity to do that, traveling. I'm blessed with the financial means to do that. I'm blessed with no girlfriend. I mean, I guess I don't know if that's a big blessing, but in this case, for this scenario, is a blessing. I've got no kids. I'm fairly young, relatively young. It's a perfect time to come out here and do this stuff and explore this world and fall in love with some new places and experience some new cultures and things that I haven't experienced before. So yeah, I've got some decisions to make. Got my next trip to plan, and I'm gonna have to wait till I get all my money back from these refunds and these deposits from this overly expensive weekend that wasn't supposed to be this expensive, but getting stranded in Phoenix for a night and not being able to get a hold of my aunt in time and all that stuff. It cost me a little bit more money than what I was expecting, and I had to change my itinerary around and all that, but I made the best of it. It turned out to be a pretty good weekend. I still got some places to go see here in Tucson. I check out at noon. I don't fly out till 5, so that gives me 5 hours to go do some stuff. I think I'm gonna go check out the Air and Space Museum since it's over by the airport. Other than that, I don't know. I'm gonna go get some lunch, breakfast, brunch, lunch here, probably at Carl's Jr. since it's right over there. But yeah, the one thing I missed out on is some Mexican food here while I've been in Arizona. But that doesn't mean I didn't eat well. I did eat well. Okay, I guess I had some nachos at the bar, so that's technically Mexican. And they put some green chili in there, a little bit more spicy. They were very good, but I don't know if nachos really are Mexican food. But anyway, let's get on to it. Not a whole lot in the baseball world to talk about. My basketball dynasty draft is winding down, and I got a whole bunch of rookies. Definitely gonna have to have some patience with this team. Yu Darvish is back on the injured list for like the third time this year. He's got lower back tightness. I wish I could be a pampered athlete and miss some days, still get paid with lower back tightness. I get lower back tightness in my everyday job too. I still got to go and still got to earn my $20 an hour or whatever it is. So but I guess when you're making millions, you get pampered because the teams or companies want to protect their investment, right? So and Kyle Tucker is on the COVID-19 injured list for like the third time this year. This guy really needs to be more mature and responsible and take some accountability for his actions and really just stop exposing himself to COVID, because he's exposing everybody else to it. And we don't fully know the ramifications of what COVID can do to us. We don't fully know how truly contagious it is. Sure, yes, obviously he's young and fit, he's going to survive, but will his grandma survive? Will his teammates' grandma survive? These are the kinds of things that young, immature people, or most conservatives, I would say, aren't really taking into account. And don't get me wrong, I'm not personally vaccinated. I don't believe that the vaccination is going to work. This virus is already mutating. It's already become the Delta variant, right? It's going to mutate. It's going to continue to mutate year after year. So getting the vaccine, ultimately, I don't think is going to save anybody. And ultimately, I don't want to put myself through that uncomfortable experience, because I don't like needles. I don't like shots. I don't like things going into my body. That's why I never did drugs. I never smoked. I never liked the idea of inhaling or injecting or ingesting, putting anything like that in my body. So I'm just uncomfortable with that. I'm not going to do it. But that doesn't mean that I'm not, being responsible. I'm wearing a mask. I'm social distancing. I am, doing the things. I'm staying away from people who may be vulnerable health-wise. I'm doing the things I need to do. I'm trying to take this unknown disease a little bit more seriously than I think most anti-vaxxers are, which I still don't consider myself an anti-vaxxer. I'm just, I'm happy that most people are choosing to get it, and so I'm a young, healthy guy. not worried about myself getting it. I'm not worried if I do get it. I'm not worried about it killing me. And like I said, my grandma, I'm pretty sure my grandma got the vaccine. She's someone that would be immunocompromised, and my aunt that she takes care of, I believe, also has it. So those are the only two people I'm really worried about. My other grandparents on my father's side, they're stubborn, and if they don't want to get it, they don't have to get it. They've accepted the consequences of what may happen to them, and I don't see them very often anyway, just basically on holidays. So I think we're good. Anyways, getting back to the baseball. What else was I going to talk about? Kyle Tucker, Yu Darvish. Garrett Cole's back today. So if you have Garrett Cole, you should probably activate him. And even though he's been pretty inconsistent this year, definitely not living up to the hype. I don't have any steam and hot hitters for you because I didn't write anything down. I'm doing this all by memory. So I didn't think I was going to be able to remember all of them. But I do have 4 streaming pitcher options for you. I have 3 young guys and 1 veteran guy. Starting with Jake Odorizzi against Kansas City. Jake Odorizzi in Houston against Kansas City. Very decent streaming option today. And the 3 younger guys, we got Braxton Garrett of the Marlins against, is it the Braves? I think it's Atlanta. Very high strikeout potential there. So you might want to get him. Tucson of the Braves against the Marlins. I think Garrett and Tucson may be facing each other actually. So that could be interesting. Tucson is pitching really well, and the Marlins are not hitting well. So that's one. And then the other one was Griffin Jax. I'm a big fan of Griffin Jax just because he's he's an Air Force veteran, a guy who went an unorthodox route to get into pro sports. He hasn't been the greatest pitcher really, but lately he has been getting, his last 4 starts he's gotten double-digit points for you. So he's facing the Cleveland Indians, a team that has been no hit twice, a team that's been very weak hitting all season, a team that's in a rebuild. So Griffin Jax should be able to continue his streak of hot starts and carry you in his 5th straight start in double-digit points. So that's all I've got for you today. Again, this is Sentinel Peak in beautiful Tucson, Arizona. Pretty little city that has captured my heart. I mean, I guess it's not super small. It's roughly the size of Portland, but Portland kind of has Portland has some suburbs and a much bigger metro area than Tucson does. Tucson's kind of just by itself down here. It doesn't have much of suburbia, much metro area yet, but I'm sure that's going to change. It's going to continue to grow. It's a lovely city, and you guys should. I don't know why Tucson has such a bad rap in the world, but I think it's lovely. I think it's wonderful. I think you all should check it out for yourself. And the weather down here is amazing. So, as always, have a blessed day. Live your life while you can, when you can, for yourself, when you get the opportunity. I'm not saying you need to be selfish all the time, but it's okay to be selfish some of the time, as we spend most of our lives people pleasing. We spend most of our lives doing stuff for other people, wife, kids, boss, whatever. So it's okay to be selfish sometimes. We all gotta do what makes us happy, right? So peace, love, and nacho fries, friends. Until next time.